Introduction of Sayyidina Khizar alayhi salam. Sayyidina Khizar alayhi salam is called Abul Abbas. His name is Balia and his father's name is Malkan. Balia is a word from the Suryani language. Its translation is Arabic. In Arabic is Ahmad. His title is Khizar. This word can be articulated in three ways: Khadir, Khadar, and Khizar. And the meaning of the word Khizar is a green thing. Wherever he al-Islam would sit, green grass would grow due to his blessings, and due to this reason, people started calling him Khizr. He alayhi salam belongs to a very honorable family lineage, and his ancestors were kings. Some spiritual scholars have mentioned that a Muslim who remembers his name, his father's name, and his patronymic would not suffer a faithless end. Khizr, a living wali of Allah. Some people have mentioned Sayyiduna Khizr al-Islam as a prophet, but the majority of the Islamic scholars are of the opinion that he al-Islam is a wali, that is, a friend of Allah. This is also accepted unanimously by the majority of the scholars that he al-Islam is still alive and will remain alive until the day of judgment, because he al-Islam has drunk the water of life, that is Ab-e-Hayat. Numerous friends of Allah used to avail his company to attain blessings. In this context, a spiritual saint, Sayyid Bikri Rahmatullah has written an eulogy about Sayyidina Khidr al-Islam called Dardus Sahar in the following words: I swear by your Rabb, Sayyidina Khizr is alive, and the one who believes that he is dead will only be the one who has not been able to see his enlightened beauty. So whenever the fragrant breeze blow, may my salam be unto him, and may the blowing breeze convey my salam with purity to him. Sayyidina Khizr al-Islam has also been privileged to physically meet the most dignified Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, he al-Islam is also a companion Sahabi of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It has been reported that when Pharaoh drowned in the river Nile along with his army and Sayyidina Musa al-Islam settled in Egypt with the Bani Israel, then one day the following dialogue took place between Allah and Hazrat Musa al-Islam. Hazrat Musa al-Islam: Allah, who is the most beloved bondsman to you among your people? Allah said, the one who invokes my remembrance and never forgets me. Hazrat Musa al-Islam: who is the best one to dispense a judgment? Allah says, the one who passes judgment justly and is never deceived by worldly desires. Hazrat Musa al-Islam asked, who is the most knowledgeable person among your bondsmen? Allah replied, the one who belongs with his knowledge always strives to learn knowledge from others, so that he may acquire such a piece of knowledge that may guide him towards righteousness or save him from devastation in afterlife. Hazrat Musa al-Islam said, if there is anyone more knowledgeable than me among your bondsmen, then please guide me towards him. Allah replied, Khizr is more knowledgeable than you. Hazrat Musa al-Islam then said, where should I search for him? Allah replied, on the bank of the sea near the rock. Hazrat Musa al-Islam: how and by what means can I reach there? Allah replied, travel along with a fish in a basket, and the place where that fish gets lost is the point where you will meet Khizr. And that is all in Surah Al-Kahf, verse number 60. After this, Hazrat Musa al-Islam embarked on the journey of Majma al-Bahrain, a place where two seas meet, along with his servant and disciple Yusa bin Nun bin Ephraim bin Yusuf. During his journey, when Hazrat Musa al-Islam went to a far-off region, he al-Islam went to sleep at some place. At that very place, the fish in the basket quivered and jumped into the sea. A hole emerged in the sea of the water where the fish had fallen into. After waking up, Hazrat Musa al-Islam resumed his journey. When it was the lunchtime, he al-Islam asked for the fish from his disciple, Sayyidina Yusha bin Nun al-Islam. He al-Islam said very humbly and politely, the place near the hill where you went asleep, the fish jumped into the sea there and I forgot to inform you. Sayyidina Musa al-Islam said, this was the very place we had been searching for. However, by following back his footsteps, he al-Islam reached the place which was revealed to him as the meeting place with Sayyidina Khizr al-Islam. Hazrat Musa al-Islam saw that there is a saint sitting there wrapped up in his clothes. When Sayyidina Musa al-Islam paid compliments of salam to him, the saint asked surprisingly, "Where have people that make salam come from on this land?" And he inquired, "Who are you?" Hazrat Musa al-Islam replied, "I am Musa." He al-Islam further inquired, "Who Musa? Are you Musa of the Bani Israel?" Hazrat Musa al-Islam replied, "Yes." Then Hazrat Khizar al-Islam said, "O Musa, Allah has bestowed me with such type of knowledge that you do not know, and Allah has bestowed you with such a type of knowledge which I do not know." It implicitly meant, "I know ilmul asrar, knowledge of secrets, which you do not know, while you are bestowed with ilmul shara'a, knowledge of religion, which I do not have the knowledge of." Then Hazrat Musa al-Islam said, "O Khizr, do you allow me to follow you so that I can also acquire some of the sciences which Allah has blessed you with?" Hazrat Khizr al-Islam said, "You will not be able to observe patience with me." Hazrat Musa al-Islam said, "Inshallah, I will be patient and will not disobey you at all." Sayyidina Khizr al-Islam said, "The condition is that you will not ask questions about anything until I myself do not inform you." After this mutual agreement, Sayyidina Khizr al-Islam took Hazrat Musa al-Islam and Yusha bin Nun al-Islam with him and started walking alongside the seashore until they came across a boat. The occupants of the boat boarded them on and did not even charge any fare. When these people sat in the boat, Sayyidina Khizr al-Islam took out his axe from his pouch, detached one of the boat's plank and threw it into the sea. Witnessing this, Hazrat Musa al-Islam could not observe patience and asked the following question to Hazrat Khizr al-Islam: "Did you cleave the boat in order to drown its passengers? You have indeed done a wrong thing." And that's in Surah Kahf, verse number 71. Hazrat Khizr al-Islam said, "Did I not tell you that you will not be able to observe patience with me?" Hazrat Musa al-Islam apologized and said, "I forgot not to ask any question. Therefore, please neglect it and do not make difficulty in my mission." Then these esteemed people advanced further, and Hazrat Khizr al-Islam came across a child who was the only son of his parents. Hazrat Khizr al-Islam strangled him, banged him on the ground, and killed him. Witnessing this terrifying scene, Hazrat Musa al-Islam could not bear patience and said to Hazrat Khizr al-Islam in a fairly strict tone, Musa said, "Did you slay an innocent soul not in retribution for another? You have indeed done an extremely evil thing." Surah Al-Kahf, verse number 74. Hazrat Khizr al-Islam gave the same reply to Hazrat Musa al-Islam. "Did I not tell you that you will not be able to observe patience with me at all?" At this, Hazrat Musa al-Islam said, "All right, if I ask you anything else after this, then do not stay with me. No doubt that the chance provided by you to me in this regard remains no more." After this, they all resumed their journey together. They reached a village and requested for some food from the villagers, but no one among the villagers served any food. Then they both came across a wall in the village that was about to fall. Hazrat Khizr al-Islam erected the wall by invoking the Ismail Azam. Sayyidina Musa al-Islam was already displeased with the bad conduct of the people of the village, so he became angry and could not remain silent and said, "If you had wished, you could have taken our wages for it." In Surah Kahf, verse number 77. Hearing this, Hazrat Khizr al-Islam said, "From now onwards, we cannot proceed together, and the things that happened for you could not withhold patience. I will explain you the secrets within them. Listen, the boat that I damaged belonged to some poor people who would earn livelihood by virtue of that boat. At some distance ahead, there lived a tyrant king who would capture the good conditioned boats and would leave the defective ones. So I intentionally took out one of its planks and made it defective, so that it may remain protected from the tyrant king. The parent of the child I killed were very pious and the virtuous people, but the child himself was an infidel by birth. His parents loved him immensely and used to fulfill his every desire, so I feared that the child might divert his parents towards unbelief. That's why I killed him and saved his parents from unbelief. Now his parents will observe patience, and Allah will bestow them with a daughter in exchange who will get married to a prophet and will also give birth to a prophet who will guide the people towards Allah. The secret behind repairing the damaged wall was that it was property of two orphans, beneath which was buried their hidden treasure. Their father was a pious person. If this wall had collapsed, the people of the village would have taken their treasure. Your Rabb destined these two orphans to grow up and dig out their treasure. Thus I repaired the wall. This is the grace of Allah unto these children. O Musa, be assured that whatever I did was not from my own accord. Instead, I did it to fulfill the order of Allah. After this, Hazrat Musa returned to his native country.